I've been a lawyer for more than 20 years, and sometimes you think you've seen it all. But even I was left speechless yesterday by the reporting in the Mail and the Sun. How the hell do you go from a photograph of Jeremy Corbyn, the leader of the opposition, innocently walking with his old friend of 92 years, war veteran George Dirac, to a cropped version of that photograph put out by the Sun and the Mail with the hashtag Jeremy Corbyn dances into Downing Street ahead of Remembrance Sunday? It's difficult to imagine anything more disrespectful. Is that really the state of British journalism? Let's take a look at this story in a bit more detail. It starts with the Andrew Marr show on Remembrance Sunday. Andrew Marr mentioned to Jeremy Corbyn that he was on his way to the cenotaph straight after the show and would be taking his old friend with him. This is what Jeremy Corbyn replied.
I'm joined by Jeremy Corbyn here earlier than you might expect because he needs to get to the cenotaph. And Mr Corbyn, you're not going by yourself this year, you're bringing one of your constituents. Just tell us about that.
Bringing an old friend of mine, George Dirac, who was in the 7th Armoured Brigade in the Second World War in North Africa, came back to Britain, worked in the post office all his life as a postal delivery worker, very active in his union, very active member of the Labour Party, very much in favour of a left and peace agenda in society, very close and dear old friend of mine. He's now aged 92. And I brought him.
He's 92 and he's a peace activist.
And he's a peace activist, and he's a very proud member of the Labour Party, and indeed a former councillor in my borough. He's a great friend of mine, and I wanted to bring George on
to the
today.
Andrew Marr show. Jeremy Corbyn was photographed walking towards Downing Street with his old friend, war veteran George Dirac. Here's the photograph in question. It's almost beyond belief. But the next thing we see is a cropped version of this photograph doing the rounds on social media, put out by both the Sun and the Daily Mail, with the story that Jeremy Corbyn has danced his way into Downing Street ahead of Remembrance Sunday, and pointing out how disrespectful that is. This sort of gutter press journalism has got to stop. Jeremy Corbyn is a man of honesty, a man of integrity, and a man of courage in a political system that is now based on lies and deception and misinformation. The establishment wants Jeremy Corbyn gone. And this is another example of how they're trying to do it. But we're now beating mainstream media. They can no longer get away with the lies and the deception that they got away with in the past.